So yeah, we're gonna get this started, man. Like I said, thank you for taking time out to do this, be a part of Persistent Progress Goes Career Exploring. As you've been seeing some of the videos I've already done, I'm basically trying to create a new networking platform for people to learn more about different professions out there, as well as maybe expand their knowledge on how to network and how to communicate with people, certain
Right.
questions to ask, and where to find these resources for answers. Because I like to think of this as kind of like a GPS for people. They can kind of find a direction where they're going. Because I've been in times where I've been trying to search just to find some new answers, or even questions that I might just have, but I didn't know who to ask, who to talk to, where to
Right.
even go look for this kind of research and information to find. So if you don't even know where to start searching or looking, then it's gonna just kill your whole vibe from even wanting to do the work or the effort at all. And then look
You're
where
right.
you at. You back to no progress, no gain, no success, and you just stuck doing to what you know. So I mean, we grew up together, and coming from our area, it wasn't a lot of resources or people that we could count on to ask for more than just our one mentor, like Fletcher Triplett, that we might have here and
Right.
there. But he doesn't have every answer for our questions and stuff like that. And we don't even have the opportunity sometimes to figure out new things to ask. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you gotta watch different stuff and see different things happen in your life for you to these different questions to spark up. But if you used to only seeing the same type of thing because of your environment that
Mm-hmm.
you're in, you're not gonna be exposed to nothing new to create new kind of questions and stuff like that. So this is the
That's
purpose
right.
of Persistent Progress Goes Career Exploring. It's based for everybody of any type of age and background, stuff like that. People from um, impoverished areas to people from wealthy, rich families, areas, cultures, people from young. So I think this be helpful and useful for kids that are in high school, middle school, looking for a direction, which way to go, as well as if someone's even looking for a career change. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
um, you know, I like to now for you to take time to introduce yourself, kind of just who you are and what you do. What's your profession that you do right now?
I'm Demetrius Jackson. Like he said, went to school with him. We went to Southport and LC together.
Yeah.
So we've been homeboys for a minute. Um, I'm actually in the Army. I am an ammunition specialist. So what comes with that is pretty much here at Fort Benning. I'm in Fort Benning, Georgia, of course, active duty. I have to, so essential perks, the general perks of my job is I take the ammo and I take it out to ranges for different units to shoot. Then I come back and pick up that same ammo and I make sure that, all right, so let me tell you that the Army don't really trust, have a hard time of trusting. So when I go back and pick up that ammo, I have to count out the ammo and make sure that they spent everything we gave them and we get everything back that they didn't shoot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And you're taking this ammunition to where exactly?
All right, so we work at the ASP. That's my main place of employment. The
Okay.
ASP is where we hold all ammo, and that's where we actually count it as well.
Okay. Okay. And then you're taking this ammunition for other military guys to shoot and practice their aim and target and stuff.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Mostly what we deal with is everyone in basic training and different officers that's going to school.
Mm-hmm.
When they go to school, you have to be at the range most days. So
Okay.
whenever they go to the range, they'll see me. I'll drop it off to them, uh, tell them all the information that they need to know about the ammo, and we'll drop it off. Come back tomorrow or later on that same day and pick it up.
Okay. 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 So, is there a backstory behind this, far as for you choosing the military? Even just, well, thank you for your service, also, by the way.
Appreciate it.
It takes a brave person to do what you do. But is there a backstory that comes for with you choosing the military for the Army compared to the other different branches you could have chose, but as well as the position that you have now? Is there any type of reasoning for why you chose those two specifically, as far as delivering ammunition as well as being a part of the Army?
Well, appreciate your support. I want to say thank you for that. What really started my interest into the military is I always had a passion to help. Even though we came from where we came from, it
Mm-hmm.
ain't too much help that was out there. So I felt like when I grew up, I wanted to be different. I wanted to actually give somebody that the same thing. It's the same thing as you're doing with persistent progress. It's helping others. It's
Mm-hmm.
just looking out. I know here I'm able to actually help out soldiers whenever they find out problems come up, and I mean I can relate. I can actually go with my own back page of my own story and try to
Mm-hmm.
help them through whatever they're going through.
Right, right, right. I feel that. So how many years have you been in the military?
I've been in 7 years so
7
far.
years. Okay,
Mhm.
so how old were you when you first got in? That's not too long after high school.
Yeah, that's true. I was 21. Man, I felt old.
Okay,
I
okay.
was 21 when I first got in. After that, I just stayed in. It was time, so I felt like I wanted to get out. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I felt like with any job that anybody ever applies for, they'll like it when they first get in, but it gets boring after a while.
I
But
hear
you
you.
know, you just got to keep your head on.
Right. So how long have you been doing this current position as with delivering ammunition?
I've been doing it my whole 7 years.
Oh, okay. So right after
So it's
basic training, you was able to jump right into that.
absolutely, absolutely. I've always had a fascination with guns and knives. So
Uh-huh.
that's what directed me towards this position.
Right.
Just me getting to know or getting to experience ammo firsthand. I felt like it'll help me with my fascination. So firearms.
Okay. Firearms. Yeah, that's so then do you delivering this ammunition, do you have like just this expertise knowledge for almost like all kind of guns and stuff like that? Because I figure like y'all basically got a kind of standard type of guns that y'all use for the military. Y'all don't have too much of a broad variety where you get this, you get that. Everybody pretty
Right.
much got the same thing. So
That's
you
right.
basically you on some major pain stuff. You can take everything apart, put it back together in that same sense. You
hmm
know what I mean? Like you know a gun like you know a person basically.
Absolutely. Definitely. You definitely learn how to put together, how to take apart. You learn different ammo, how much is being put into what bullet
Mm-hmm.
at a time. You
Wow.
learn the standard of what's supposed to be in the bullet, and you can understand like how much you can actually put the max as well.
Uh-huh.
You get to learn the trajectory, how far it's gonna shoot whenever you shoot it. It's just a little things that we commonly wouldn't know
Yeah.
that you pick up along the way.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
So where was your basic training at?
Basic training was Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I loved
Okay.
it there. I really want to go back, honestly.
Really? When like is that a major city or is that like kind of just a small little country or something? That's why they just keep a base there that let y'all do y'all work and ain't got to interact with the civilians and stuff. How they go about doing
I
that?
would say I would say it is a major city.
Uh-huh.
When I graduated, we was able to go off base for one
Okay.
day.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually went off, it was a big city. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
And
So
then after that, go ahead, man.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me
Uh,
more about it.
After basic training, you will go into AIT. Uh, Typically, your AIT is in another military base.
Mm-hmm.
So mine was at Fort Lee, Virginia. I would say Fort Lee, Virginia was a smaller city, but it was right next to Richmond, Virginia. So that's where everybody went to, enjoy themselves.
Right, right. Okay, cool. So with basic training, can you explain to me your thoughts on expectations versus what you really experienced? I know some things, like even with the fire department, some things stay for within fire department, but what you are able to elaborate on, can you kind of you going into it first day, what you expected versus what reality kind of was?
Basic training, what I expected was not what really happened. Like, yeah, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody want to say, "Oh, I wasn't scared." They want to be the tough guy, but I was scared. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah,
I felt like I was going. I felt like I was gonna come out a different person, and I was gonna be scared of the world type stuff.
yeah.
But I actually came out, and I'm telling you, it's an experience that everybody should experience because
Mm-hmm.
not only do they break you down, but they really build you up, and you actually come out better than what you went in with.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Uh,
I've never heard of anybody that did go through basic training and stuff and still are in the military. I've never heard them speak negative on it, that it was a waste of their time. I've heard it's been
mm-hmm.
hard. I heard,
Oh
I
yeah.
heard they
Oh
went
yeah.
through some stuff that they probably don't want to go back and do it again. But
Of course not.
they
Of course.
survived, and it was for the better. So
Right. I would
okay,
say
okay.
basic training pretty much teaches you how to move with throughout a team. So it's all about building teamwork more than anything. A lot of people try to get there. Oh, I'm really good at running. Oh, I'm really good at doing push-ups. Just watch me, all eyes on me. But it's not all about that. It's about your weakest link, because you're only as strong as your weakest link. So
Mm-hmm.
if you got somebody that's not as good, that person who is good should be trying to help,
Right,
and that's
right,
what it
right.
teaches you.
That helped with us growing up playing sports and stuff then too. It kind of brought back that same thing. And okay,
Absolutely, it's kind of
familiar
like a
stuff.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you still like close friends with a lot of people from basic training, or when y'all went y'all separate ways, you don't really communicate with them too much anymore?
It's some that I haven't talked to in 6 years. Some I
Yeah.
haven't talked to in 5 years. It's some that I still talk to this day.
Okay.
But I would say going to basic, meeting those people, having those relationships and those connections, it's definitely opened me up to a different way of life. Because, like we said, we grew up in a not so good situation.
Yeah.
Uh, but you got other people who grew up in perfect situations, so you
Mm-hmm.
get to see like the difference between that. You get to meet different personalities. You get to meet different religions, different everything. So it's definitely an eye opener.
Okay. So I know that you have more to offer for with yourself, even besides the military. Do you want to kind of tell us if you have any more other businesses or jobs, any type of professionalism that you have about yourself? I mean, because
I
you with the photography, you know what I mean. But I wanted to, if you had anything more than that, I didn't want just to simplify like you just do photography. There's something else that you do besides that. Will you please kind of elaborate on that? Let us know more about you.
Right now I'm getting into stocks. I'm trying to be a master at stocks. I have a couple stocks that I dibble and dabble in. Other than that, I really don't really do too much more. I got a photo shoot tomorrow, actually. So I'm still shooting, but I don't shoot as much because I tell you, being down here, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. So when you do get your free time, you really just want to chill. Like just stay out the way. But
I
other
got
than
you.
that, it's just the stocks, photography, and the military.
Right, right, right. That's nice. That's nice. Actually, you inspired me because you do photography, and I got an uncle that does photography too. He's nice with the camera. You
Hmm.
inspired me to kind of. I feel like that's a nice attribute and asset to have that you don't necessarily need it all the time, but for the fact you can pick up a camera, and even if that's like your zen time, like your place of peace, and you want to go out and
Right.
take pictures and stuff like that, you're capable of doing that, and that's an actual art. It's my little cousins into that kind of stuff too, and so that's where I refer to you a lot about things like find you a good camera, the type of camera that you need to start off with. I reached out to you one
Absolutely.
time and asked you for what kind of camera is good for someone to first start off with. So it was for my little cousin, but she's looking at it, she's saving up her money and stuff like that so she can buy her own camera and then kind of invest in this stuff and just take it serious because it's her own thing. So what she's kind of expanding and finding
Right.
herself and doing that. So I appreciate you for that too. Um,
Absolutely, man.
so can you explain what your schedule is like on a normal day? Is it basically the same all week, or do some days vary?
All right. So regular schedule, we all wake up. Most of everybody wake up at 5:30 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
because we have PT at 6. PT consists of running, push-ups, sit-ups. Fridays we typically try to mix it up and do like a sport PT. So typically it's football. Um, we're going to start doing soccer, stuff like that, just to get everybody involved. After that, we should get done around 7:15. Gives us about 45 minutes to an hour just to get ready, hygiene. After that, work starts around 8:20. So we go to work, start working. But no, we do not have a set schedule because we don't have enough personnel here. Um, so our personnel that we do have is grown since the first time I got here. Uh, we will have some midnight work jobs.
Mm.
Now, when I say that we deliver to everyone at Fort Benning, we deliver to every single unit at Fort Benning. So you don't shoot just in the daytime; you shoot at night as well. So, like I could say 2 nights ago, I had a 1800 pickup at a range. Everything was just so messed up. I didn't get done until like 9. So so I went there at 1800, got done at 21. So it was just a mess. It was raining and it was cold. So I was over it. And then had to wake up the next morning, be at work at 7:30 a.m. And
Uh,
then we didn't get off to like I believe we didn't get off to like 4:30 yesterday.
so
So
how does that work far as for pay? Like, are you just a salary base or
it's
do
just
you?
a salary. You it's all based off your rank. So
Uh-huh.
whatever your rank is, it's always a salary thing. And then
Okay.
you can get paid more based on the years of service that you have as well.
Hmm.
And also, if you're married, you get paid a stipend pretty much for your bills. So if I was married right now, I'll choose a house that I want to live in on or off base. Uh, Here in Fort Benning, I believe the BAH is $1,200 a month. So
Hmm.
they'll give you the $1,200 and then they'll give you your check on top of that. So pretty
Okay.
much they're paying for you to live wherever you're at.
Okay. And that's like, so basically, your spouse and your kids and everything can go wherever you go. That's how kids travel with their parents because they have
That's right.
okay. I
Oh,
got you.
and
Got you.
if you have dependents as well, you get paid for dependents as well.
Okay.
So it's not just, oh, I got a wife,
Per dependent?
I get paid for her. Say again?
Per dependent? Like,
Per dependent.
okay. Dang, dang. So is there a max? Because we know some people that got a lot of kids. If somebody walk in with
Absolutely.
10 kids in the army, they paying them for each kid, or they like you cut off at 5, bro? Like,
I believe it cuts off after 5,
okay,
but I can't be too sure. I don't have it, so I don't know.
right, right, right. I got you. I got you. Okay.
Man,
Wow, that ain't too bad.
it's not bad at
Um,
all. That's why everybody keep getting married and divorced. If
true.
you want this army life, do not get married just for the money. I'm telling you. Make sure that they are the one for you.
Yes, that's big facts right there. Yeah. You might need to write that and put that in bold and just post that every day on social media. They need to get married for
Hey,
the right reasons.
it happens every day, man. Every day.
Um, okay. So did you started in the army at 21? So did you do any college or anything? Because you were an athlete, we played ball and stuff together, and you wrestled. Did
Mhm.
you do any college or anything, playing sports, or just going to school?
I went to the Art Institute
Okay.
right after high school. I did a semester there. Wasn't really feeling it. It was expensive as a mug. So
Hmm.
I really didn't want to do that anymore. And then right after I got out of there, I just worked for a couple months, and I just knew that working wasn't gonna do nothing for me. So
All
I
right.
needed to find a career for me. So I talked to a recruiter. 4 days later, I was in the army.
Nice, nice. So it don't take long then. Once you go and you talk to a recruiter and you signed up and everything like that. That's dude. How long of a span did you have from when you talked to a recruiter and signed up to when you had to leave for basic training?
I talked to a recruiter. I would say October 20th,
Hmm.
and I got in the army October 24th. Uh, this was 2013, so I got in, and then I didn't leave for basic training until February 14th, I
Okay.
believe. Uh, that the following year, pretty much when you do sign a contract to get in the army has to have an opening slot for you. So pretty much it's like you're gonna wait until your actual day to come to basic is because
Mm.
they can't just put you in the army next day you gone. So
Right.
you just gotta wait until whenever they have a new cycle going for basic trainees.
Okay. with the Army, I have family that's in the military and stuff like that, but I've very much considered going when it was kind of up in the air if I was going to be playing college ball or not. And but so far as the military paying for your schooling, I know it's only certain schools that they pay for you to go. Is that correct? That like you
Uh,
can go like
they
to they pay for you to go to Purdue or something like that, but won't pay for you to go to IU. Does that make sense, or is that wrong?
It makes sense. That makes sense. But the Army will pay for any school that you go to.
Oh, really?
Any school. Absolutely.
Will they
They'll
pay
pay
for your
for
school before you went there, or just only while you're in the Army?
no, they won't pay for any school before you actually join the Army. There is a student loan repayment program, but you have to get that in your actual contract when you sign up. So I would tell anybody that already been to college, that's already done that, if you really want to get in the Army and you don't want to pay your student loans, you want to try to get help, I will have that in writing. You want to make sure you get everything in writing because there are some people here in the military, they'll tell you anything just to get you in. And that's what most recruiters do. So if you really want to get in the military and you know what you want from the military and how you want to move within the military, I will talk to somebody that's already in the military and that's not a recruiter just yet.
Okay, okay, that's some good advice. Um, so and that's for if you're so say you want to go to college right now, or you want to
Hmm.
take some classes, you want to get associates or a bachelor's, master's, whatever. Do you just tell someone of that you report to, and then eventually they send you off to a college, or how does that work for your responsibilities that you already have right now with the Army?
All right, so the Army can actually give you 1 year off so you can go to school, like physically
Mm-hmm.
go to school, but most of the time they want you to do your school online. So
Uh,
let's say if I was to join school today, I will go up to the education center. You really don't even have to talk to your sergeants, your chain of command, or anybody. This is just a personal goal. So they feel like if that's really what you want to do, you'll do it on your own time. So you can
mm-hmm.
go to the education center, let them know that you want to go sign up for college. They'll have you do your FAFSA and everything. Um, I know being active duty in the military, you will get TA, which is tuition assistance on top of your FAFSA and any other grants or anything else that you have to pay for college.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much you will have to do online, but you can request for 1 year of going to school. But that's up to your commander or your battalion commander to sign off on that for you to leave.
And there's no limit on how many years of schooling that the Army or military is willing to help pay for. Let's say you're in college for 8 years, you just racking up degrees. They just gonna keep giving you some assistance with the payment for these courses.
The Army will only pay for a degree. So whether it's your
Okay.
master's degree or your bachelor's degree, they will only pay for one degree. And if you don't use your degree, you don't use anything, you can pass it down to your siblings, or not your siblings, your dependents. Like if I had kids, I would, and I didn't really want to go to school at all, I could
Mm-hmm.
just save it for them, and then the
Oh,
Army will pay for them to go to college.
that's dope. That's
Yeah,
nice. I didn't even know
absolutely,
about that.
absolutely. Just
Okay.
good
Okay.
benefits here.
Yeah. So, what's the you said that you kind of spoke about the longevity of the career of being within the military, that your financial side increases. So you did say salary, but what's the true salary look like, far as for you being education? I'm sorry, for you being economically knowledgeable about middle class, lower class. You know
Mhm.
where you stand, far as compared to everyday civilians in the world. Do you feel like the financial side is worth it, as far as for what you do and your hours that you put in?
It's all different for different MOSs.
Mm-hmm.
MOSs is different jobs in the military. So for my MOS, I would say it's really not worth it because I put in a lot of time and
Mm-hmm.
I rarely get breaks and I rarely get any vacation. I mean, everybody accumulates vacation, but if your battalion commander don't sign off on your leave, you're not going to leave. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah. we get paid middle class or a little bit above middle class for working. But then again, it's like, what about time with the family? Like, I mean, yeah, Corona has definitely stopped a lot of things going on here, but at the end of the day, it's just like you got to have a nice work-home balance.
Right, right.
Sometimes it's not really a good balance.
I'm big on that. I'm
Mhm.
big on that family stuff. I mean, as you knew,
Absolutely.
my parents and stuff like that. Now that I'm an adult and I got my own wife and kid, that I kind of look back and see like, dang, they did spend a lot of like parent kid like time with me. You know what
It
I
was
mean?
always there every game.
Yeah, compared to seeing like some of my friends who didn't have that,
Hmm.
I could see like how much more of a difference that it possibly could have made if my parents weren't there for me that much, or they weren't able to be there.
Right.
I'm I appreciate how blessed I was for that. That I want to make sure I get it to my son, because my schedule and stuff for with my job is so nice, and I could actually be working so many more hours and stuff like that. But then it's like, is it worth it? I don't, I like being home and spending with my family, being able to go to birthday parties and family reunions, my little cousin's games, stuff like that.
Right.
So
Right.
that's very wise of you to even kind of be conscious of that family time at work. Got to have that type of balance.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
blessing, man.
yeah, definitely. Family's always a blessing. The more you realize, man, the better it even gets.
Hmm.
Um, do you have a certain amount of years you plan on being in the army before you retire?
This is just, I get this question asked every day, every day, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Every day it changes.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, everybody wants to be whole and go 20 or 30 years, but it's taxing on your body, and it's
Mm-hmm.
taxing mentally as well. So it's just, you just gotta go with the flow. When it
Right,
comes
right.
around, you just gotta be like, all right, I need to really sit down, think about it. Where do I want to see myself? Do I really want to keep going? Or do I really just, want to go ahead and end it? But right now, where it stands, I want to keep going. Even though it gets tough, even though I may be here at this location and, you know, things don't really add up.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it don't add up here, I'm only here for what, 2 more years? I'm going somewhere else next. That's the only thing that keeps going in my head. Just
So is
remember,
that
you're
how it
going
works,
somewhere
or is
else
that just
next.
up to your decision that you just do a couple years one spot, then they move you to the next?
Um, all right, so now the Army just changed it for 2020. So now when you sign up, you have to be at a duty station for 3 years.
Okay.
So once you are there for 3 years, they'll ask you, hey, do you want to go somewhere else, or where do you want to go? So I'm going to try to go to Germany next. That's really what I want to try.
All right, all
I
right.
don't really, I mean, I love the U.S., but it's time to go.
Yeah,
It's time to
it's
go.
definitely time.
Either,
I went to Canada. And now I think about so many other places I want to travel and check out, and
mhm,
you know what I mean, be different and see what's all out there. But
right,
before I went
right.
to Canada, I wasn't like that. I wasn't thinking like that.
Man, I'm telling you, when you get to meet people and you get to see like how they are, how they was brought up, and you get to see like, oh yeah, like this is so much different than where I was. I need
Yeah,
to go visit.
yeah,
so
definitely.
so that makes me want to go. That it'll make oh, my bad. It'll definitely make you want to go ahead and just try something else.
Hmm.
Just do something different, see something different.
Right, right. So with speaking a little more on retiring, do they prepare you to be like well situated and stuff for when you do retire, or are you learning everything about the benefits, how to save your money, where to put your money, preparing for retirement? Are you learning that all on your own, or you got somebody that's doing it, teaching you this stuff out of kindness, or somebody, or they have a system that's orchestrated to teach all the new people coming into the military on what to do to be financially successful leaving the military when they do retire?
So that's a great question right there. When you're about 1 year out from your actual end date, we call it ETS, but that's the last day of your contract. When you're about a year out, they send you to the SFL TAP, and they actually put a resume together for you. They actually look at different jobs that you may be interested in. It's a whole program designed to actually help you for whenever you're getting out.
Okay.
So they actually teach you everything that you really need to know. What jobs is best for military veterans when you get out, what jobs pay the best, and what jobs that are really going to stay around. So whenever you're thinking about getting out, they'll help you out.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I only know this because of my job, because the fire department is very government based. I mean, we get paid by the government, stuff like that. But it's even structured that we have battalion chiefs, we have lieutenants, we have captains, like the whole going through academy. Even the academy is military based, where we the way that we got to dress and what is it, left center, left front, like, you know, different things like that. When we come to attention, how we got to hold our hands to the side, you know. I was first about week, no, but first about month, I was shocked. I did not know where I was.
Major change.
Yeah, it's definitely so. I kind of can relate to as far as for kind of what you went through in the system of the structure type of things as far as the names and stuff. But they don't have like an actual system set up to teach all the people coming in as far as for what you want to do with your money, stuff like that. But during the academy, they'll have each individuals of the different programs, like far as your 401k people and your pension people and your union people, they'll come in and talk to us. But it's so overwhelming because you're already still learning so much in the academy, and you only see those they'll give their 30-minute speech, and then they'll give you a card and you got to reach out to them. But like I said, again, you're so overwhelmed. So I was curious, you know, because you got things going on in the military as well. Like, do they really sit down with you one-on-one, like a counselor in high school type of thing, make sure you set up straight, or to kind of be like, here's my card, if you want to do this, and, you know, reach out to me. So I'm glad
set up the same way.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and the thing is that imagine being as young as you were, or even younger, 18, and you really set up for success going into the Army and stuff like that, as far as what you're able to do with yourself, and if they teach you and show you how to do the right things with your money, that by the time, you know, you do 20 years or so, you really can be set up good. So it's just kind of I don't know. It's a blessing if people are able to get that kind of help to know how to be economically responsible and stuff. So
I will say, anytime you go to a new duty station, for the incomers briefing, you do have to sit through a financial briefing as well. And they'll teach you how to budget, like every single thing. Always.
People need that.
Whenever, because I'm telling you, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't know what I was doing to pay all my bills on time. It'll be hectic.
So, do you have any type of love or passion as far as for what you do with the military, or is this more of just a job to for something for you to do and feed you? I don't want to say just of feeding your pockets, but I know you like helping people. Regardless, that was what you're gonna do. Anywhere that you went in life, you was gonna help people, and you like guns and knives. So even regardless if you wasn't in the military, you would still have guns and knives. So is there anything that the military that you see is gonna take you someplace that really, you know, you're honing in on your passion or the love that you have for doing anything? Or
I wouldn't say I have a passion for being here, for being in the position that I'm in. I would say I'm more so doing it because I know that it can open up more different ways or different doors. Because no matter what you do in life, there's always a chance for networking. And what's the best way to network with someone that's across the seas? Just join the military. We got people who come from Korea that want to get a green card, that they have to join the military just to become a citizen. So, I mean, you get to see different sides, you get to go different places just because you actually know about it now. So I would say the one thing that I really love about being in the military is just having the networking.
That's dope. That's very important. So, what motivates you to keep doing this, and not because, you know, our generation, we kind of jump from task to task. It's something we're not really feeling it, we're mentally strong enough to know that we can survive by quitting something and going through that downfall until we find the next thing. What kind of keeps you here from just being like having a bad day or a bad week and like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm about to go on to the next thing. And I know my next mission that God sends is gonna come. Like what's keeping you honed in right now?
Challenges, actually. I like challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I would say if something's not challenging you, it's probably not good for you. So if I can come to work every single day and go through different stuff every single day and still be a better man at the end of the day, I feel like why not continue to do that? Because if I'm going to continue to better myself, if I'm not going to better myself, I don't need to be there, or I don't need it in my life. So I would say what really motivates me is just knowing that I'm going to be a better man at the end of the day.
That's big. That's important. That's I mean that's gonna play a huge thing when you have kids. You know what I mean? Like when you have your first one or something like that. Like I tell my family, I was like, I don't know. I just internally feel a different type of switch, you know. It's like every day I wake up in the morning, it feels like game day now. You know, it's strange, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know how else to explain. You know how competitive I was with sports and everything like that. So, you know what I mean? It's just, when we went to LC, when we played Southport again, every day I wake up, it feels like that. It's crazy.
Absolutely. That's nice. That is so dope.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of feeling that I get. So you spoke about like the knowledge that you have as far as with your ammunition and stuff like that type of knowledge, as well as we spoke about the benefits and stuff that you're able to understand as far as how you maneuver with your finances. Is there anything else that plays into your favor that you like have in the back of your head of knowledge that if you weren't in the military, you probably wouldn't have came across, at least not yet?
I would say taxes.
You own it today, boy. You own it.
Hey, man, I would say I really felt like I had a good deal of knowledge with taxes, even in high school. Mm-hmm. But even in the military, you have people who will sit down with you. All you got to do is reach out to them. They'll sit down and they'll go over every single thing, let you know why this tax is this much, why you paying this much in taxes. So pretty much, I feel like it's helping me be a more business mind gentleman, pretty much.
Dope. What's the most challenging thing about your profession? I know it's probably many of challenging things, but what's like one that just sticks out to you?
The people.
The people.
The people.
Those people.
You got to understand that everybody comes from different walks of life. So what's cool with me and you, like how we talk, how we act, it's not cool with everybody. So you got to take in consideration, like, all right, they wasn't raised like this, so you got to come to them, you got to come at them a different type of way.
Okay. That's big. You have people skills.
Absolutely.
You had spoke on vacations work a little different for y'all everywhere because it kind of got to get signed off and approved. So do y'all get a certain amount of vacation days per year that y'all able to take? And like, are they a scheduled set day or there's a period of time? How does the vacation days work?
All right, so every time you get paid on the 1st and 15th, but every 15 days you get 2.5 days of leave. So you're able to use them however you want. But there are some blackout days for like holidays. I know for us, the blackout days is December. So December is just like, all right, we all know everybody want to go home for Christmas, but some people can't. Only 80% of the unit can actually be gone at a time. Right. And then you still got that 20%. So that's what happened with me this year for Christmas. I wasn't able to come back home because, I had to let the lower enlisted go home, enjoy themselves. And then after that, I took my leave and I really didn't go too far. So I would say you'll get all your vacation days and personal days, and you'll be able to apply to use them. But it's, like I said, it's up to the commander if he wants to let you go or not.
Okay. So far as for relocating to different places, so you said y'all do like a 3-year contract or something. Far okay. So with that, do you go to your chief commander and be like, "These are my top 3 picks. Can I get one of these?" Or do they give you 3 picks to choose from? Or how exactly does that work? Far as for picking a new location or even
So
staying spot?
with that, you will actually go to a retention NCO. Um, they won't even be in your unit half of the time. They're at a set place for everyone on base to come and talk to. Most of the time, they do have suggestions. Hey, you can only go here, or you can only go to these 2 places. But typically, it is 3 places that you can choose from. They'll ask you where you want to go. You'll tell them, and then out of one of those, 1 or 2 of those, they're like, hey, both of these are open, or only one of these are open, or none of them are open. So pretty much, it's you have to go wherever the Army needs you, pretty much.
Okay, okay, I got you. Do they pay for your travel expenses, as far as like your plane tickets and stuff like that? Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. They'll give you a travel voucher or a travel card.
Hmm.
So once you swipe it, they'll look into it and be like, all right, so he used this to do this. Oh, he used this to go there.
All right.
So it won't come out of your pocket at all. They'll pay for it all. Even
Mhm.
if I was to get married today, everything you see in my room, they'll have some movers come, pack it all up for me, and move it into my new house for free.
I got you. Okay, that's dope. That's definitely a
Mm-hmm.
plus. So because you represent the military, what happens if you get in any kind of trouble with the law? Like, is there already ideal repercussions like you expect to face depending on what kind of trouble you get into, or is there like it's just up in the air? You just know when you're in trouble, you just gotta wait and be, decide what they're gonna do with you.
It's a mixture of both, actually. Um, I would say speeding tickets or anything like that, most
Hmm.
officers are understanding that they'll give you a warning. But even if they don't give you a warning, you're still subject to punishment regardless. So I would say you can be in double jeopardy sometimes because no, not only are you following citizen and normal U.S. laws, you're also following the military laws because you're still in
Hmm.
uniform. So sometimes people do get double jeopardy. So let's say if I go rob a bank,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna do my time for civilian life, but also if I'm still in the military, when I get out for doing that time for the civilian side, I'm going to jail for the military now.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you gonna get your time. You gonna get your time.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. Well, we got. Oh, that's negative energy. I don't even want to talk about that no more. Whoa. Um.
Yes, sir. But
So.
it's pretty much teaches you discipline. Uh, Most people in the military, they'll get in some trouble,
Mhm.
but they won't get in too much big trouble because they're already disciplined enough to be like, nah, bro, that don't even sound right.
Right.
That,
It ain't
that
working.
don't even that don't even look like me doing this.
Mhm. Um. So, for the people who are on call to go to war, like, excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, 'cause as you see, I'm ignorant to knowing this type of stuff. For people that
It's all
are on
right.
call to go to war, are you one of those people?
I am not actually.
Okay.
You do have some units that are that will go to war. They're known for going to war, but you also have some units that's just known to be at the base and to support the base. So my unit actually supports the base. So like I said, we draw out ammo to everyone else on Fort Benning. Fort Benning is we push out more ammo than any other U.S. base in the U.S. So our daily operation is a lot. We have close to 5 to 6 thousand pounds of ammo daily.
Mm.
So uh, I believe yesterday we had 4 days of work for one day. So we were busy yesterday,
Right.
real
Right.
busy. I would say pretty much. I would say pretty much if you wanted to join the military just to get by, it won't happen. You gonna have to earn everything you get.
Okay, okay. So, how does it work, far as for when it's time to go to war? I don't know, whoever selects these bases to pack up and get sent over to wherever the war is taking place at. Like, how do you choose it? Oh, y'all got picked last this time, so y'all going first this time. How does that, you know?
It depends on what unit. It's always the unit. It's not so much as the actual soldier. So it depends on what unit you get attached to. If I got attached to the 82nd Airborne,
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the military know the 82nd Airborne. They jumping out of helicopters, they jumping out of planes, and they going to war no matter what. So
Okay,
they're gonna be
okay.
like one of the first ones to go. So I mean, you really just gotta wait until you find out what unit you're in. And once you find out, if I was in the 82nd Airborne, they'll let us know, hey, we're getting deployed 2 months from now. So make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you have all your gear. So we'll do OCIE layout. So you have to lay out all your vests, your camelbacks, your fleece jackets, everything that you would take with you. You'll lay it out so your sergeants can check it off and make sure that you have it. Now, one thing that the military is really big on is accountability. Being accountable for every single thing they give you because they will
Mm-hmm.
tax you. They definitely
Okay,
will tax you if you lose it.
okay. So, you mentioned before that you can leave to go to school for a year. Is say if you went and did that and you come back, do you just automatically get put right back into your same position and responsibilities, or do they find a new spot for you because you were gone so long they had to fill somebody else in for how to do your role, or how does that work as far as for coming back? Okay,
Nothing ever changed.
okay,
They put you right back to where you was. Like you ain't never even left.
I got you, I got you, I got you.
But yeah, they'll take the time to retrain you if you feel like you do need the retraining.
That's good. So, for someone that may be interested in joining the army, or even being a part of learning about ammunition and everything like that, far as for exactly for what would you do, where would you advise that they start at or look into doing research, or who to speak with?
Um, Honestly, everything's on the internet. I would tell them to do their own research. It depends on what they want, the type of person they are. You actually just, I would tell you, okay, what do you like? Let's say you wanted to be a firefighter in the military. We have those jobs. So I would tell you, hey, just look up, everybody has to do an ASVAB before they even can get in. Depending on your ASVAB score is how you know you can get a job or not. The higher you score, the more jobs are open to you. So I would tell them to do that first. Once they actually do that, I
Mm-hmm.
would, based off their scores, I would tell them, hey, go on Army Gov and figure out like what MOS you can actually work for. And then if they have a low score, I would tell them, hey, I wouldn't really go infantry. Honestly, infantry, all your main job is war, pretty much. So I mean,
Right.
I would tell them, try to look for other things or other places, or even go Air Force.
Okay. Okay. So this route that you're advising, is that different from the route that you took to get to where you are? And you speaking this like because of your learning lessons along the way, so they don't make the same mistakes, or because it worked out that well for you that this is what they need to do just in order to most likely get to the same spot that you're at?
It's just totally different from what I've done. Um, I got in the military, didn't do any research.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, "Hey, you can get this job, this job, this job," and I was like, I don't know what those jobs are." I was like,
Right. Right. Right.
ammunition, like you talk about pow ammunition. Yeah, I was like, all right, cool, I'll take that.
Right. Right.
So I kind of just took it on a whim. But I would tell anybody else, this is your career, and that's something that I really didn't understand or grasp at my age back then. So
Mm-hmm.
I would tell anybody else that want to come in, just make sure that it's something that you really want to do.
I hear you. I hear you. Um, So would you choose a different branch? Like if you could start over? or would you stick for where you at with the Army? Because, you know, you got the Navy and the Air Force, and that you had just mentioned not too long ago. Would is the Army meant for you because, as far as for what you know as who you are and what you like, or is just what's worked best for you?
The Army actually does. It does tailor to my actual personal life,
Mm-hmm.
how I deal with things, how I live. Um, I've thought about going to the Navy. I thought about going to Air Force. Most most people will offer Air Force because Air Force is a lot easier. So I
Okay.
mean, the only thing about the Air Force is you don't get to pick your job at all. They pick for you based off your scores. But
Mm,
I would say the Army fits me. It suits me just because of my personality.
I got you. I got you. So as you said before, that you plan on wanting to go to Germany and explore and do more things. So that means that you're not at your final destination or like your personal growth and career growth. Do you have any idea of kind of like a target where you're trying to reach, far as rankings or anything that you got like ahead, like on a plan?
Okay, so with the rank situation, uh, ever since COVID, the points to rank up have jumped up.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm chasing points. Don't ever
Okay.
chase points. I'm telling you, if you join, do your correspondence courses as soon as you get out of basic, because that's what's going to get you your promotion. Um, so right now, I would say I'm I should be getting my promotion within 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Dope. Dope. Well, early congratulations to you for that, bro.
Thank you.
If someone wanted to further learn from you, like the knowledge and experience that you have, are you open to them reaching out to you like person, whether they hit you up on social media or email or anything like that?
I would tell them, just hit me up, in my inbox.
Okay.
I really don't text a lot. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of I have like 70 missed texts. I really
I got
don't like to text. I'll definitely give them my number. We can actually talk over the phone because
you. Mm-hmm.
I would like to talk more. I feel like I can express myself a lot more than in a text.
Right, right, right. I got you. I got you. Okay, okay. So that kind of wraps it up for anything. If there's anything else you wanted to really like express to people that are watching this, like I said before, the viewers are ranging from kids that was once like us to even adults that are our age and older that are interested in just learning more just for curiosity or because they plan on doing something with their own lives as far as the information that you're providing for them. So if there's anything else that you want to, you know, share with the viewers,
Um,
this is your time.
I would just say never give up on yourself. There's plenty of times before I even graduated high school, I felt like I wanted to give up on myself because I feel like I was in a situation where it was never going to get better just
Mm-hmm.
because of where I was, my environment of where I grew up at.
Oh,
So just as long as you don't ever give up on yourself and you always continue to better yourself, you'll be all right.
I got you. I got you. But man, I appreciate you taking your time, man. You're a close friend of mine, reliable. I knew, you reached out to me to help me out for doing this. You wanted to have an impact on this as you do like giving back and helping people. And this is a tremendous thing that you did today. I appreciate you taking your time out. And as you know, like I said before, at the start of this interview, that Persistent Progress Goes Career Exploring is to kind of network and provide a researching platform and networking to kind of show people what to do, what to say, and give them different insights on how they can go about accomplishing things. So my company is about kind of providing a new area of positive community that you can kind of get better every day. Something that ain't got to be a big jump, but just that you're striving consistently to work towards the right thing. So as we're trying to do positive stuff, that's the whole goal and message at hand. So I appreciate you taking your time out, man. And that concludes our interview for today, bro.
Oh, no problem, man. Whenever you need anything else, man, just hit me up. I'll be
I
right
got
here.
you, man.
I really like what you got going on here, man. I feel like we need to have that in the community because we didn't have
Mm-hmm.
that what we had. when we was
Right,
growing
exactly. So I mean, I love what I'm doing, man. This is fun. You know, it's
up.
like
Yeah.
it's a positive hobby. You know, it keeps my hands full with something just enough. It ain't too much. It's taking time away from my main priorities, but it's enough that it makes me feel good about what I'm doing. So hey, it is
That's
what
what's
it
up,
is.
man.
So, all right, man. You have a good rest of your day, bro. You be safe.
All right, you as well, brother.